Hey guys, what's going on? Big Nate here, and I've made a couple of these videos before because of games like the War Z, Battlefield 3, Black Ops 2, all the really good upcoming games. I figured I would just go ahead and make this video with my current PC settings and specs and whatever. So first thing I'm going to go through is what kind of PC mine actually started as. I actually bought this as just a normal everyday PC, but it wasn't enough. Here's the PC that I bought. It was the eMachines EL1352G-41W desktop PC with an AMD Athlon 2 2-core processor, which is basically 2.2 gigahertz dual core processor with Windows 7 Home Basic. It was a slim computer. It did everything I needed to: email, surfing the web. Basically, it could do anything I wanted it to except for gaming. The first game I ever bought, I believe for PC, it was Call of Duty 4. I'm pretty sure. And my PC just could not handle it. Even on the lowest settings, it was stuttering. And I was thinking, well, now may be a great time to just buy a couple things, fix it up. But I'm the kind of guy, when I start something, I have to go all the way. This began the birth of my gaming PC. It's not finished by a long shot, but here we go. So it started out, like I said, a slim. This is exactly what I got. As a matter of fact, I'm still using that keyboard. The mouse I have is a Logitech 500 series, about a $50 mouse. It's a good beginner gaming mouse. You can see here that it was slim design. The PC. The onboard graphics card was an NVIDIA GeForce 6150 SE. Basically nothing of interest. Just a very low level general PC. The first thing I did was bought 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is basically the best way if you're wanting to squeeze a little bit extra and to do it pretty cheap. Memory is your best bet. 4 gigabytes was good enough. Battlefield 3 came out, just wasn't cutting it. So my next step was the 8 gigs. Now, since I'm limited on what I can do due to my motherboard, and I'll go ahead and start this CPU ID up, my main board, motherboard, whatever, is still the standard board that came with it. American Mega Trends, whoever the fuck they are, eMachines EL1352G. So that is a big problem, but will be solved by the end of this year. Okay, so I went with the 8 gigs. The two, it only has 2 slots, so I had to get to 2 by 4 gig. You're looking at about $30-40. So I started off with a $300 computer. We're up to $330. So next, what you're going to want to look into, if you continue to slowly get your stuff together, go ahead and buy a power supply. Get it done, get it out of the way, because you will need more than a 80 plus platinum, whatever the hell comes in stock computers. You're going to need a better power supply. I recommend Dynex at your local Best Buy because it's simple. Go in, get it, and use it until the warranty is about to expire. Take it back, exchange it for the exact same one or its equivalent. Or if they have a bigger power supply, say a 720, if it's $80, take whatever you paid for your current power supply and minus it, then you just pay that difference. Very good. This is actually mine. the 520 watt. It's going to get replaced with a bigger power supply eventually, but that'll be when I upgrade my graphics card. So 520 does perfect for now. Next thing I recommend. Okay, guys, here is my card. I started out with the EVGA mini HDMI DVI. This card is probably the best low budget card I've ever found. $150, 550 Ti. Mine was actually the super clocked edition, which is basically maxed out to nearly a 560, and it cost me $100 less. The one that I currently have, because I needed that little bit of extra memory, is the GTX 550 Ti super clocked edition. This is this is actually the exact one I have. GeForce GTX 550 Ti exclusive super clock. That doesn't matter. It really doesn't, because you have programs such as EVGA Precision X, which comes with it, or you have MSI Afterburner. I mean, the programs are countless. It doesn't matter if it's super clocked or not. Just get the 550 Ti. Make sure it says GTX, because they do sell GT 640s and things of that nature for like $80. I almost did that. So remember, GTX 550 Ti is what you want to start with. It's the perfect starter card. Just remember that if you have VGA connections, it will have VGA to DVI, but anything else, you'll want to. Here's a great picture: mini HDMI, DVI, and DVI. So if you're running two monitors, you'll need another one of these, or you can run HDMI to DVI. So yeah, 550 Ti. I really recommend this one. 2 gigabytes of memory isn't special or anything, but it gives me that satisfaction. So next, what you're gonna do is head over. Unfortunately, my processor is discontinued for whatever reason. Maybe they found out it was such a good processor, and it was like $170 for a 3.7 gigahertz AMD quad core processor. I cannot find anything at all wrong with this card, with the exception of mine did not have the heatsink and fan included. Mine was just nothing more than the processor. This processor runs cool, runs fast, and is consistent. And for $160, $170, you can't beat it. If you go with something comparable, just depending on your motherboard, you can't have an Intel motherboard and put an AMD processor in it. It doesn't work. But the i5 is a really good alternative. For a slightly higher price, $209, you're only looking at $20-$30 more. It's really no big deal. So if you actually have an Intel board, then you're good to go. Sandy Bridge Intel Core i5s super good. If you want to spend a little bit more, you can go the i7. I don't recommend it because Intel are very good for gaming as well as higher end AMD processors. So to cool this, if it doesn't come with the heat sink and fan, you can't go wrong with the Hyper 212 Plus. $30. It's a 120 millimeter fan and radiator. Direct contact heat pipes, long life sleeve, 120 millimeter CPU cooler compatible with Intel. So no matter if you have an Intel or an AMD, Cooler Master Hyper 212 is phenomenal. I mean, look at this fucking thing. It's made of aluminum or aluminium if you're British. Minimum 600, maximum 2000 RPM. There's really no way. This is actually all it comes with. Your thermal paste, brackets for this is the Intel bracket, this is AMD bracket, additional screws for your motherboard, mounting brackets for an additional 120 fan, add a second cooling fan optional. Left review, GTX 550 Ti, gotta have the memory. I recommend minimum of 8 gigs, but anything after 16 you're wasting your money. I would recommend no less than a 3 gigahertz processor. Cooler, memory, processor, graphics card, doesn't matter what kind of PC you start with, it matters where you go from there. CPU Z can confirm all this. The Phenom, and I'm not a tech guy, so I don't know what the hell any of this means. I know that this is basically saying the core speed is 3.717 and fluctuating, but that's okay. I guess all this is saying that I have 4 cores. That's my motherboard, the stock American Megatrends E-Machine motherboard, 8.192 megabytes, basically 8 gigabytes. I have no idea what that is. Graphics GTX 550 Ti. Overclock. This is just my overclock. I'm just trying. But if you already have a computer and you want to spruce it up for gameplay, go this route. So guys, this has been my PC build, my budget PC build I may add. And if you have any questions, comments, you totally disagree, anything, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Big Nate, and I'm out.